Hello colleagues, my name is Natalia Staroprava and we continue the series of briefings in Media Center Ukraine. Lviv reached the final in the contest of European Volunteer Capital, and that is why I ask for the microphone Andrii Moskalenko, the first Deputy Mayor of Kiev, participant of Lviv presentation at the contest, to talk more about this initiative. Glory to Ukraine, hello, good afternoon, and what we have today it is a very important time for our state since since the fight on all the front line is continuing and our armed forces are showing their heroic fight. And today, many Ukrainians and literally every Ukrainian is a volunteer, and each Ukrainian is keeping his own front. And Ukraine is a candidate for EU, and that is why, and not only because of this, our city takes an active part in different contests in order to in the times when there is too much Russian propaganda in Europe, in order to be present there on the big scenes and to talk the truth the way it is, and to receive more chances and capabilities for our state and for Lviv and for Ukraine. Lviv reached the final of two big European contests. The first final is the final for the right to be the volunteering capital of Europe in 2024, and the final for the right to be the youth capital of 2025. And today we're talking about volunteer capital. And 2 days ago in Gdansk, there happened an event when Ukraine and Lviv were there in final, and together with us there was Trento city from Italy. And these two cities, Lviv and Trento, we had presentations. As a matter of fact, these presentations were divided into several phases, and my colleagues will tell more in brief about the submission of the documents, the basement, the ground it was based on, and basically the idea of volunteering as the baseline for victory in the fight that Russia started against us. And we all know thousands of events when many Ukrainians through volunteering help to our military servicemen, help our state within this fight. Also, I would like to pay your attention that the submission of this order itself and what the victory will allow us is, first of all, for us it is important to use every international scene to tell the truth to the world. On the other side, it opens another peculiarities and possibilities to participate in different foundations, NGOs, and according to the rules, there should be one representative from civilian sector and one representative from authorities. I was the one representing from authority side, and Maksym Turkevych was the one representative from civilian side. The proclamation statement of results will take place on the 10th of December. And another important thing, during the presentation where European cities participated, they were detected, and we showed and we assembled the flag of Ukraine that was there in Donetsk airport, in Pisky, and it was important for us to tell and show the truth. And also we showed as an element what volunteering really means these days, and volunteering the one that helps and saves lives. And we showed um, a helmet that protected the head of our soldier. That is why volunteering saves life. And at this point I finish my report. My colleagues will tell you more in brief. Thank you. More about motivation of participation in this contest and the stages of this contest and the stages where Lviv is right now will be told by Oleh Malets, head of the TVORY Youth Space Chain, which initiated the application for the contest. Good afternoon to everyone. Indeed, from 2014 in Europe there is a European volunteering contest. It is initiated by European Volunteer Center that unites many local national volunteering centers all over Europe, and especially our Ukrainian Volunteer Center, represented by Maksym Turkevych, and we submitted the documents for joining this organization. And together with this, we are fighting in the contest for the victory to be the capital of volunteering, aiming to develop the culture of volunteers to increase the dynamics of the development of volunteering, since we understand that volunteering itself is a powerful thing that is capable of both influencing the development of personality, its skills, as well as to join the communities and people within their interests and within their will to create positive things, both on national level and international level, local and regional levels. And also, an important moment here is that this is a good push for the development of the cities, because we see that since the beginning of the full-scale invasion, volunteering communities have launched a huge help to IDPs and as well as help to different spheres of volunteering, both as work with IDPs abroad, with humanitarian help, with eco volunteering, and so on. And at some point, this caused a huge push to official authorities being able to adapt and being flexible. That is why we all understand the power of this volunteering and what it can provide us. Also, an important moment here is that this network itself and being in this European space also states our Euro integrational front, since we represent Ukraine and we want and we show that we are there in this European space and we are the candidates for joining EU, and I hope soon we will officially join EU, and I hope that we will win this title until 2022. As at right now, we are there at the final stage, and we have gone through several phases of submissions documents, processing the documents, and right now we have two finalists that are Lviv and Trento. And right now we introduced ourselves, we introduced our submission, we introduced our promotion video, and we told in general regarding what volunteering is in Ukraine right now. And what lies ahead of us is that jury members, they are waiting for this time to detect who out of these two finalists will get the victory that will be proclaimed on the 10th of December. And these are the representatives of European Volunteer Center, European Assembly, committees of the European Parliament, and the city of Gdansk itself. There is this year it is a volunteering capital of Europe this year, Gdansk. And I would like also to mention that this European Center, European Volunteer Center works, and since that time, Lisbon, London, Berlin, Gdansk have been elected as the head of the European Volunteer cities. That basically states how broad this contest is. Thank you so much. More about the presentation itself. Both Lviv people and you as yourself present Lviv as a potential capital will be told by Maksym Turkevych, who is the head of NGO Ukrainian Volunteer Center. My greetings. Thank you so much. And regarding the words of Andrii and Oleh told before that, I would like to emphasize that yes, we are submitting on behalf of the whole Ukraine, and special on behalf of Lviv, and we represent volunteering in Ukraine, special in that format it looks right now, while mentioning all its differences and unities with European volunteering. And in short, what does this submission gives us, and what we will get, or what we got, and what we will have in the future because of this process. As it right now, as it was already said, we have submitted the papers to this contest, and we designed the strategy of development of volunteering in Lviv. That right now it is being still worked on, and to go more in public sphere. And right now we are designing the program of supporting volunteering activities in Lviv. And right now we are on different stages of integration and into European communities, as well as European Volunteering Center, that is the umbrella organization during this contest for the status of European Volunteering Capital. And we, as the community, submitted the documents for the membership in this community. And on behalf of Lviv, we are increasing the partnership between Ukraine and European states when it comes to volunteering development. And when it comes to perspectives for the future, we are planning to accept the finalized strategy of volunteering development in Lviv within the context of creation of volunteer infrastructure. And we have an idea of creation physically the volunteer center in Lviv, and we have these negotiations with city council, and we are keeping constant talks about creation this in order to get support. If you don't mind, if you have anything to add to Maksym's words, and also I have a question. The city that will win, that will become the volunteering capital, it will be the status given to 2024, to the year 2024. What is the program anticipated in order to keep the status in case Lviv will become this winner? What conditions should be kept? Well, within this period before 2024, and we are talking about exception of the strategies and implementation of particular plan of actions, and of course we would like to see this created volunteer center. And when it comes to 2024, this official status gives us some responsibilities regarding work with international communities. That is good itself, and this means that we will continue doing. We will do 2 great congresses, opening and closing volunteering year in EU, and we will accept the final phase here on our premises when the other cities will apply for this. And also there will be several line of events during this year of participation in European Week for Regions organization participation, and many European events, as well as many events here in Lviv. And why is it important for Lviv and for the whole Ukraine to receive the status? What does the status mean? Well, one has to understand here the context of European and Ukrainian volunteering, and one has to understand that these capabilities and these events, as what we have today, can show that our volunteering is different but no less important, and to familiarize Europeans and to make our volunteering more acknowledged and understandable for them, and to show them that we still do many big, massive and important things for them, basically to take us in. And this is a key accent that has to be made here, basically to give Ukraine the understanding how European volunteering works, and to show Europeans how our volunteering works and what things can be done on the level of social unity and cohesion. And I would like also to add here that volunteering as itself possesses a huge power to unite people. That is basically the social clue of Europe. And while being there in Gdansk, representing the event itself happened during the forum, and Maksym told about, and there was variety of presentations, panel discussion, and so on. And at each of them, we saw and heard everything about Ukraine. So all in all, there was not a single performance, not a single meeting without talking about Ukraine. And we understand that Europe and European communities right now are united by that challenges and work with IDPs, with humanitarian help to Ukraine, with the consequences and the fight with consequences, and this all united them. And as our colleagues in Poland told, is that they really felt themselves Polish people when Ukraine was facing full-scale invasion, because they united around this question and became volunteers and started to help, and at some point forgot about their inside arguments and so on. So our volunteering and volunteering all over Ukraine gives them a chance to be those Europeans they have to be, that is united cohesion, and the ones who want victory. And our key message is volunteering for victory. And we truly believe that Europeans share this, share this, and we believe that Europeans share this, and together we will win in this victory, and will continue developing volunteering culture, its long prospectiveness for on European scene. Lviv has reached the final together with Italian city Trento. Do you have an idea what is the program of the city and what can you say about their program? Well, our um, competition have a very good strategy regarding development of volunteering strategy, and they have very good social financial basis and the level of support of the city definitely no less than what we have, and the level of their interest in victory is definitely no less than ours. The only thing is that we show completely different realities and numbers of people involved into volunteering and completely different level of social cohesion, and mostly the big results when it comes to effectiveness. And this all shows another approach to volunteering when it was developing in a quite systematic way, and this approach was long, and when volunteering itself is a part of, let's say, household way of life of Italians and Trento inhabitants. They told the numbers, for example, every fifth inhabitant of the city who is actively involved into volunteering, and we are heading towards these numbers. Luckily, or maybe unfortunately, but within the context of the beginning of the war, of the first months of war, the majority of Ukrainians at some point joined different forms of volunteering. So for Ukrainians right now, it is not a trend, it is not something new. And we hope that it will give this push to institutionalization of volunteering in the future. And I would like to add something in brief. The fact that volunteering in Trento right now uh, is together with Ukraine. Right now we have 600 families from Ukraine living there. They are our IDPs, and their main mission is to help them. And also, there is a huge and powerful civilian organizations, and all in all, they have around 600 volunteering communities. Some of them are volunteering Ukrainian communities, and we see that this civilian society are there, and they help Ukrainians there by means of different help. All in all, their program lies in the fact of helping Ukraine on a full scale. Another interesting fact that we were there in Gdansk, and there were representatives both Trento and other capitals, volunteering capitals from previous years. And our age was a good example, since our volunteering itself is quite young, and we can see that in Europe, every person basically is a volunteer, and the core who is basically pushing this volunteering history is youth. And in Europe, especially in Trento, we see that mostly these are people of middle age and higher. And maybe this will be our mission to bring this young drive and vibe into their European volunteering. And for the last question, what experience of Lviv as a big volunteer hub can other cities can take into their armory? Well, I think that one has to say here that Lviv has a fantastic experience within volunteering context and another context, especially when it comes to management and the realities of how quick and effective we reacted to the beginning of the war, and how it reacted on COVID and other social crises happening before that. At this, at some point, this shows our capability to do things that at the first sight look completely impossible to do. So this crisis management is our strong suit, and driveness is also our strong suit. And little spoiler alert, we were laughing since our representatives of our authorities also look relatively young for Europeans, and for Europeans sometimes it is hard to understand the idea of combining the young age and the subject matter expertise. And Ukraine, within its processes and realities, shows that it is possible, and shows that youth can be the driver of those changes and can be not only the support but provide also the core while these social processes. Thank you. Here was Andrii Moskalenko, first Deputy Mayor of Lviv, participant of Lviv presentation in the contest, as well as Maksym Turkevych, head of NGO Ukrainian Volunteer Center, and Oleh Malets, head of the TVORY Youth Space Chain. Thank you for this meeting and for this conversation. As it right now, that's all what we have. Please follow us and follow our events on Media Center Ukraine. Let's hold together since we